Hello everyone, and you're very welcome to our 11:30 session as part of our Health and Social Sciences virtual career series here at DKIT. And we're delighted to have our friends in Talbot Group here to deliver a presentation and give insights into the work of Talbot Group, the various opportunities that are available across different disciplines. And we are joined by Elaine Klusky, who is HR Manager. Elaine joined us last year for our virtual career series and will be part of the presentation this morning. And her colleague, we have Natalie Creavy, and Natalie Creavy is Head of Services in Talbot Group. And again, we'll give you an insight into her role and the various opportunities that are available to students, placement students, relief work, and graduate work. So a range of different opportunities. As with all of our sessions, we're really encouraging you to drop any questions you have, any comments you want to make into chat and the questions function. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll have time for a Q&A, and we'll be able to pose those questions to Elaine and to Natalie. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Natalie, who's going to take you through the presentation initially, and where we can hear all about the good work that Talbot is doing. So over to yourself. Thanks very much, Natalie.
Thank you, Catherine. So as Catherine kindly said, I'm Natalie Creavy, so I'm the Director of Care for Redwood Extended Care and Respite Services. And myself and Elaine are on this seminar today to reach out to you as students and as for your future careers in the social care discipline. Talbot Group provide intellectual disability services for adults in the North East region and into the Meath area and Cavan and Monaghan. And really today we're reaching out to look for highly motivated, qualified part-time staff, nurses, students, social care workers, future nurses, healthcare assistants to come and join our team. I want to next introduce you to Laura, one of our social care workers, who will tell you a little bit more about Talbot Group in her own words and her career with us. Catherine, if you wouldn't mind playing that slide.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hi, my name is Laura Hoy. I am a social care worker and team lead for the Talbot Group in Navan County Meath. My background is in social care practice, and I've worked in the disability sector for a number of years now. So, what exactly is the Talbot Group and what do we do? So at the Talbot Group, we are the leading care providers for services for adults with intellectual disability. We provide a range of services. They vary from day services, community residential services, and respite services. So we support a multitude of individuals with intellectual disability, autism, acquired brain injury, and people who may have more complex needs such as mental health difficulties. Our main aim within the company is to provide
quality of care to promote the best standard of living. We do this through independence and around a person-centred care approach. So we are based in a number of locations throughout Meath, Dublin, Louth and Cavan. We have a wide span of employees. They vary from backgrounds of social care work, nursing, healthcare assistants, direct support workers and early childhood educators, and so many more. We also have an extensive multidisciplinary team. This is made up of our occupational therapists, speech and language therapists, our psychiatry, our psychology, physio, and many more. These professionals make tailor-made interventions and plans to support the people that we work with. This is all based around a positive behaviour support approach. So, as you may already know, depending on the course in which you are enrolled in, social care can be one of the most rewarding jobs. The theoretical knowledge that you gain from your academic studies plays a vital role in the progression and development of any social care sector. Saying that, however, the practical experience that you gain from working in a company like the Talbot Group is second to none. The support and confidence you get from these sectors is outstanding. Not only do you get to develop as a professional and strive up the progression ladder, you also get to expand your expertise in a positive, fulfilling, motivated and driven environment. I personally can say, as a social care practitioner, that I have gained a valuable experience. I've worked alongside the most outstanding professionals, and I continue to strive and progress into the profession that I want. Why not take the opportunity with the Talbot Group to work for one of the most leading social care provider services in Ireland?
Great. So I'm going to share the presentation again now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So as Laura kindly introduced there an overview of our services, I just wanted to pick up on some of the points that Laura made in her presentation for us, in particular around our locations of our services. So Talbot Group is an ever-growing company, and we are in a real stage of growth and expansion at this time. On the screen at the moment, and in the slides that will be shared after this presentation, you'll be able to see some of our locations, but you can also go and see all of our locations on talbotgroup.ie. We're always looking for staff in all disciplines across all counties of Louth, Meath, Dublin and Cavan, and in all areas of our houses, both within our placements on campus here, which is Redwood Extended Care in Stamullen, and across our community services as well. And that's at all grades, from direct support worker to team leader to PIC of services. I'm going to speak a little bit now about our multidisciplinary teams. And before I move to that slide, I just want to draw your attention that our multidisciplinary team is based here in our Redwood Stamullen campus, and they are on site. As Laura spoke there about our multidisciplinary team, we have nurses, social care workers, direct support workers, all located within our services in the individual houses and within the houses on our campus here in Stamullen. But we're also extremely fortunate, having worked in the social care sector for years, I know how important it is to have multidisciplinary teams at your beck and call. And we are very, very fortunate to have those that are listed on screen at the moment, particularly psychiatry and psychology and behavioural therapy, to have those on site here to support our residents that live within the Stamullen campus and our wider community homes. We're always looking for new members of our multidisciplinary team as well. So if your career is to progress into speech and language or physiotherapy, we're always looking for new members of team to expand that MDT as we grow as well. The MDT, as Laura noted, is a vital part for all of our residents. And it is really the MDT coming together from the direct support worker on the floor with the resident through to the psychiatrists and psychologists and ourselves as director of services in order to make the tailor-made package for the individual that supports them to progress through their placement with us. In relation to student placement, so if you happen to be starting out and you're in year 1 or year 2, we really are very, very keen, and we have a number of your fellow students with us on campus at the moment completing placements, and each year we're open to taking more and more students. Within a student placement here on campus, you'll have full guidance from your PIC, from your team leaders, and from the nursing team here as well to take you through your placement and to liaise obviously with your college oversight on that as well. So we have a full link and package together with DKIT in relation to that, and are always open to student placements. And your student placement can be across a variety of services. It can be within our campus-based services, within our autism-specific services, our elder care services, or our day placement services. So you can mix and match your student placement as well to what your tailor-made needs are in terms of your learning objectives. I'm going to hand you over now to Elaine, who'll take you through, if you're at that stage of graduation or are looking for summer work, about how to apply for a position in the Talbot Group.
Hi everyone. So now you have a background to the Talbot Group. I'm here to talk to you about how you apply for a position with the Talbot Group. So if you would like to join us and help us make a difference to the lives of our service users, you can do the following. You can apply online at our website, www.talbotgroup.ie, or you can submit your CV to our email address of recruitment@talbotgroup.ie. Again, if you wish, you can call me. My direct number is 01 211 8293. And if I'm not at the desk, just leave a message, and it also comes to my email. So I will endeavour to answer any calls, particularly received following this presentation. When your application comes into our office, it's processed on that day. And if it meets the criteria of the position you've applied for, we will then automatically contact you and schedule an interview for you for that position. Once you're interviewed, now we kind of give everyone the results of their interview later that evening or that night. And if any successful applicant, an offer pack is sent out to each successful applicant. This offer pack can include quite a number of documents, from a Garda vetting form to a health declaration form. The health declaration form is a vital form because now under HICWA regulations, all of our staff must have a fitness to work. That also includes, must also have received their hepatitis B vaccine. So again, it's a lengthy piece of work so that has to be completed. You'll also be asked to complete an employment application form where you submit the names of 3 referees that I can contact, and they will submit their references for you then. Following that then, there's more documentation and more paperwork. We will also ask you to now register with us online for online training. I suppose pre-COVID, we had all our training in a classroom setting, and we're just not back there yet. So we now ask all new employees to undertake some online training. And there are 14 modules in the online training, and it varies from fire safety to food safety to safeguarding of vulnerable persons. So there's quite a broad spectrum. Again, anyone who is successful and does this training, they're paid for their training. You get that in your first kind of pay slip in your pay packet. That's you're paid for all online training that you undertake. Indeed, before commencement of employment, we now are hopeful that we can get all new applicants to also take part in maybe theory training in class. One of those trainings include medication training. And also we have training that we also help support staff in dealing with behaviours that are challenging. Some people might know it as MAPA. We undertake what we call the PMAV training. And again, I think that's a 2 or 3 day training programme. So there's a lot of training and support for staff before they even get in the door of the Talbot Group. And again, further down the line, if you're lucky enough to be working with us, if you had an interest in training that you saw that might be beneficial to the service user you're working with or to the house you're working in, there is no question of not being able to access training. We will support and fund any training that we would feel is suitable for that house you're working in. So we're supposed to talk about what happens maybe if you're here 12 months working in the Talbot Group. What do we do? So something that we're very, very passionate about is career professional development. We really promote and encourage it at every stage. And maybe even I just ask Natalie to give you a little talk on that from our own experience and from experience of staff she's currently working with.
Yeah, so when I looked at the presentation today, I spoke with Elaine. I was very, very keen to share my own story. So a little over 16 years ago, I started as a direct support worker with the Talbot Group. And from that direct support worker role, I was supported to move through my education and to move through management levels and degrees and to move into various areas of work within the Talbot Group. So I progressed from a direct support worker to a team leader, to a day service manager, to an assistant director and to a director of services. So my career path with the Talbot Group started as a direct support worker right through to director level. And we would really foresee that for every graduate that comes into our company, we really see that as their progression pathway to be able to climb the ladder as much as they wish to and as far as they wish to. We also have had a number of staff members that have come with a level 5 degree that have progressed through social care with us, through their level 7s and level 8 social care degrees, and that have moved into positions of PICs of services. So I really was keen to share that when we say it, we do actually mean it.
Thanks, Natalie. And again, I can, reiterate everything that Natalie has said. I'm very pleased to say I meet staff every day, and staff again who came in with their VTech level 5, who maybe said, I'd like to do intellectual disabilities, and we've supported them with that. The same with maybe getting some experience in managing people, and we've also sponsored staff to take that course. So there is no limit on what we want for staff within the Talbot Group. And as I said, it's something we're very, very passionate about. So like Natalie said, we've many locations. At present, we have job opportunities, and some of the job opportunities are in County Louth. We're in the process of opening a new house in Phillipstown in Dunleer. We're also in the process of opening a new house in Monasterboice in Drogheda. So there are definitely positions becoming available in those two areas. Now, ongoing, we have houses in Drogheda, Termonfeckin, Castlebellingham, Dromiskin and Talonstown, as well as Dundalk itself. So there's, positions arise all the time. So that's just for County Louth. But just the two areas to note today are Phillipstown, Dunleer and Monasterboice, Drogheda. We actively are recruiting for those two areas at the minute. In County Meath, we're in the process of opening a new house in Navan, in Haystown. And again, we're actively promoting or recruiting staff for this house. We're looking for social care leads to come in and take on that role. We're also looking for direct support workers. Sometimes we have found in the past, maybe someone who has just graduated from their social care degree, they might like to start with us as a direct support worker and getting all the kind of practical experience to go with their theoretical knowledge. And maybe after 6 to 12 months, then promote to the role of a senior social care lead or a social care lead. So as I say, we are actively recruiting all the time. So at no time is a bad time to submit your CV to the Talbot Group. And as I said, we will endeavour to respond to any CV application within 24 hours. I'm going to ask Natalie maybe to talk to you a little bit now. I suppose Catherine and I and Natalie spoke a little bit about COVID. COVID is still here, so I just want to let all students and prospective employees know about what we're doing in relation to COVID in the Talbot Group.
So yeah, COVID obviously it still remains at the forefront for all of us, and we had a difficult few months like everybody did in order to make sure that we kept everybody safe during the COVID period, and we continue to keep those measures in place. So very much as Leo Varadkar or anybody else would say, it has not gone away, and we most certainly are saying it has not gone away. So all of our precautions remain in place. So our COVID steering group is in place, and that's headed up by myself, the CEO and our Director of Community Services. And we feed all the important information to the COVID operations group, which is headed up by our nursing team with an infection control, very, very strong infection control drive from the COVID operations group. From there, then, the guidance from the COVID operations group is filtered down to the staff on the floor and to the PICs in order to, in very practical terms, day to day, what you need to be doing within your services to protect yourself and to protect your service users. In order to support you in doing that, there obviously is full provision of PPE within all services, and there are backup supplies of additional PPE. You're grading up to your FFP2 masks, etc. should you ever have a suspected outbreak case within your services. There's very clear lines of management and response teams in relation to COVID outbreaks. So any suspected cases that we've had has had a very strong response from myself as the Director of Services, our support teams from our transport services, our catering services, our cleaning services. There's a huge support team that come in to support a service that may have any suspected cases. We've also extremely strong links with the public health services, and any suspected cases automatically immediately reported to public health, who again provide additional services to us. And we've had support services from when we have had suspected case from ambulances services and from the local HSE area. So we are first and foremost just to keep everybody safe and to make sure that there are no outbreaks and that everybody is provided with the right PPE and the right infection control and the right guidelines and measures to prevent any COVID cases. But if there is ever a suspected case, I can assure you that the response that's received for the services, that team and those service users is very, very strong and has been very, very effective in supporting our teams that have had any queries around COVID. All of our service users obviously are vital to be supported during this time as well. And we have very clear and strong risk assessments to support them, to allow them to have a quality of life and to have visitors, but to have it in a safe way for everybody. I'll hand you back over to Elaine then.
And I also think it's good to mention at this time that throughout the whole COVID period, the Talbot Group coped very well. And yes, we did have cases, but thankfully they were in the minority, and everyone is well and safe, thank God. Yes. But it's a credit to the amount of work that everyone put in, from direct support worker to team leads to PICs to our nursing team and also to the COVID response committee. Look, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us this morning. We definitely look forward to meeting all of you, any of you in the near future. And again, just to give the addresses again, for more information, you can visit www.talbotgroup.ie. You can email recruitment@talbotgroup.ie. And for social media, you can find us on Facebook, the Talbot Group, and we have a page there, Healthcare Recruitment, and also on Indeed, again, the Talbot Group, and also on LinkedIn, and again, the Talbot Group. So thank you for listening to us, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Can everyone hear us? Catherine? Catherine? Yeah, Anthony. Catherine? Just go in here, just.
It's as if you lost the connection.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
there we are.
My internet just collapsed on me there. I am so sorry. Just as you said, you were coming to the end. So sorry about that, everyone. But I'm back. I'm back on track now. I know you've summed it up there, Elaine. You've put your contact details there on the slide. I've also put them into the chat function here on the side of the screen, so every student can look on that and click directly into your email address and your phone number. And I see their social media, and you advertise via Indeed and various areas there as well. So no way in which you cannot be contactable. You mentioned those live jobs as well that you have, particularly in Monaster Boyce and in Phillipstown in Dunleer, and they're where you're actively recruiting right now.
Yes.
So for anybody who's tuning in live or who is watching back on demand, I am sure Elaine wouldn't mind seeing applications come into her inbox in terms of that. Absolutely. Elaine, just on those applications, do you mind if I ask you about what it is that you particularly like to see coming through in terms of the application itself or on the CV? What type of information you like to see highlighted?
Absolutely, Catherine. So we'd like to see on everyone's CV, a little bit about themselves, that opening little statement, a personal statement. Of course, the essential requirements, again, what their qualifications are. I think it's really good for a student also to put in any work experience that they may have completed throughout their studies. Okay. Because even a work experience can give us a little insight to kind of what they have experienced themselves. That's really it. Again, of course, education, qualifications, work experience. Are you looking for a full-time position? Are you looking for a part-time position? Those kind of things are also really important to know.
Okay.
Also location. So we do try and match each applicant up to the location that's nearest to them. So
Yeah. Okay, well, that's really important to hear. So obviously, if people are going on placement, whether that be via social care or nursing,
yeah.
there are officers who support our students and engage directly with you on that particular purpose.
Yes.
But there will be those students who want to apply directly for part-time work, relief work,
Yes.
And those who are coming either to the end of their studies and looking for employment as a graduate.
Absolutely.
So for those reasons, what you're saying is really important, that you outline your motivations. So why it is you're interested in working particularly with Talbot Group, a background to your experiences to date, and include your placements, whether they're, in whatever aspect they were in that. And then other part-time work, and just in terms of motivation, I'm sure communication skills, customer service, that type of thing is really important as well. Great. So also, I suppose with that in mind, and you gave a great, I'm glad you put the slide in at the end around COVID, because particularly in the services that you are working with and our students are going to be working in, it's important to have that, I suppose, aspect of COVID addressed explicitly, so that students and graduates know what your commitment is in that area. So it was great to have that. In a wider sense, this is rewarding work, but challenging work that students are going to be getting involved in. And I suppose, Natalie, from your perspective, in terms of what advice you would give, or what trend you've seen in terms of applicants who've come through, and what helps them manage the challenges that they face, what would you say that is an important maybe skill or quality to fall back on in those circumstances?
Yeah, and in relation to that, Catherine, what I would say is openness. And communication with your line managers. Okay, we do have our employee assistance program, so if there is something that a new worker or a long-term worker is struggling with, we will always, through your supervision process, we will support you to overcome whatever that challenge may be, or may it be in relation to a service user that you're supporting and a new goal you're trying to set up with them, or may it be a personal challenge in terms of your own development and your own resilience building within the work that you're doing. So I would always say our supervision is very, very tight, and the supervision that's provided to you as a direct support worker and a team lead from your PIC and up the line from your AD, who reports to me, and as myself as director, I will meet you on the floors as a direct support worker. There's the formal supervision processes, and then there's the informal supervision processes. So I would always say, speak up. If there's anything that you're seeing or you're experiencing within your first couple of days or months, that you bring it to the attention of your supervisor, or to the member of management that you happen to meet, wherever you feel most comfortable. Speak about it. We'll help you to resolve it, and we'll link you as well with the relevant MDT members that can help you understand what's going on for that service user, be it a behavioural challenge in it that's presenting, or I'm sure many of you know Kevin McKenna, who works with us in terms of challenging behaviour as well, and he will work with you and your team as well to work through whatever that challenge behaviour may be that's presenting, and to understand what it is, why it's presenting, and what's the best way as a team to work around it. So there's multiple strands that will support you in your career as well.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing there basically is there's a wraparound support for staff as well as for the clients that you're dealing with and patients that you're dealing with, depending on what discipline you're coming in from.
Yes.
So those students who are tuning in today are social care students, there are nursing students, there are also students, I suppose, in the wider humanities and social sciences who may also be interested in applying to you. So that is really important to hear about that wraparound support, because even if you're getting as part of your course delivery, great, but other students may be interested in that training that you're providing and support external to what they're studying also. Great. We're coming to the end of our 30 minutes. I suppose just to maximize that screen again, to show the ways in which students can engage with you, and to thank you as always for partaking in our on-campus careers fairs, our virtual careers series, and to acknowledge the work that you're doing out there in the community, and to thank you for that, and wish you the best wishes for the work as you continue on and through this challenging time of COVID. Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you very much, Catherine.
Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.